You're welcome to this particular video, and we'll be designing CapCut, basically the CapCut app that we all know, right? So we start without wasting much of our time. Let's get started. And don't forget to also subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on the post notifications so that whenever we upload subsequent videos, you get to see them. So the first thing we are going to do when it comes to mobile app design is to select our frame. So I'm going to click on frame here. So this is where our mobile screen will basically live, right? So once I click on frame here, on that phone now, you're going to see several mobile app designs. So you just scroll down, you want to select the one that has 375 by 812. That is the iPhone 13 mini, right? 375 by 812. So I'm going to click that, and this frame is going to come up here, right? So let's just call this particular page login page. So that is where the entire login page is going to live. So once we have that there, the next thing that you want to do right now is actually designing your layout, how you want your layout to actually look like. So over here under layout grid, I'm going to click on this particular plus sign to create a new grid, and I'm going to change it from grid to columns, and I'm going to give this stuff 4 columns, and the gutter here, I'm going to make this one 16. This is the space between each of the columns, and the margin here, I'm going to make it 16 as well. So that is the space left and right. Now once I've done that, the next thing I always do whenever I'm designing is to add my rule here. So I'll just click over here and add rule. Just in case you're not seeing your rule here is not appearing, if you go to file here and is it file, or I know that it's shift, yes, shift R, that's it here, under view. So under view, you see rule, you just ensure that it's checked. You should be able to see your rule on your workspace. So I just put that there. It will serve as a guideline for me. I'll drag this and put it here too. It will also serve as a guideline for me. Then I would also click on this layout here and hide my layout grid. Now there are other things I also do for the layout, for example ensuring what space will be the top navigation as well as the bottom nav, right? So that will be a lesson for another day. So now the next thing I want to do is to actually go to the Figma community as a whole. You can actually click on plus sign over here, or you can just go back here and click on explore community. So once you click on explore community, you should be able to search for iPhone UI kit. So just look for any iPhone UI kit that you are going to see. So just look for iPhone UI kit. So if you look for iPhone UI kit, you should be able to see several kits. But let me just go to my homepage. So I believe that I should have like a lot of kits that I must have used in the past. For example, now I have these wireframe kits that I've used in the past, right? I have this other one too that I've used in the past as well. So any of these kits, I can actually just click on them and it's open. So you can actually search for this wireframe UI kit. So the reason why we are searching for this is because there is one thing I've never designed all my life as a designer, and that thing is this particular thing here, which is the status bar. I don't think in my life I've ever designed it. I always come to the Figma community, look for a kit, and basically just copy and paste it. So I have this wireframe UI kit. Here you see several ones. See, this one is not even a good one. I shouldn't have even opened this. Let me go and open a better kit. Let me see. iOS 14 UI kit for Figma. That makes sense. So let's open that. So you might want to search for this iOS 14 UI kit for Figma. But just search for any kit. You should be able to see like a lot of kits where you will see like keyboard that you can add to your design, status bar that you can add to your design, and so on and so forth. So that the cool thing now is that we are looking for the one with, this is about 407. Alright, right here on this kit, if you click here, you will see that this particular one is 375. If you click here, this is also 375 by 44. So something like this is what we are actually looking for. So we are looking for 375, right? So, and I want something that looks like this actually. I don't actually want this green thing here, but of course it doesn't matter. So I'm just going to copy it, and once I copy it, I come over here to my main design, I Ctrl V to paste it, and if I align it like this, take it to the top, so I have my iPhone kit, right? So one of the things I always do too as well is just right click on it and detach the instance, so that it's not going to be part of that particular, it's going to be part of my own design. Then I can actually just name this the status bar. So this stuff I always copy it from a kit, I always don't design it. Now that we have this, so the next thing that we want to do is to go on Google and search for the CapCut app, which I've done that before. So I will just copy it from my system, Ctrl C from my system here, and I'll paste it. So for you to get this logo, just go on your Ctrl Z, just go on your Google and search for CapCut, right? You're definitely going to see it. Just go on Google and search for CapCut logo, PNG. You're definitely going to see this. I've done the same, and that is why I have it here basically, right? So the next thing now that I actually want to design now is the login page. So the login buttons. So I'll click here. I will type sign in with Apple. So something like this. And I'll leave it at inter. Let the text be 14, and semi-bold is not bad, right? So I'll just put that there, right? So the next thing now that we actually want to do right now is to look for the Apple logo itself. So just go on Google as well, search for Apple logo. So if you search for Apple logo PNG, you're definitely going to see something, right? I've done that already. Control V, let me see. Oops, it's adding it as the background. All right, so I brought in my Apple logo here. So the next thing I'm going to do is to select both of them together, and I'm going to say Shift A like this. So Shift A will actually create an auto layout for me there. Then I would use Command and move this one to this other end like this, and add a stroke like this, just one, and give this stuff like a gray. Something like this is perfect. And the next thing now, make it like 20. The space here, 20 looks good. Too much actually. Let's make it 12. So 12 looks good. Then this one, I'll just give it like big one, so that it's going to be able to that will be able to go around like a capsule shape, right? So once we have that there, and I actually don't want this to be auto layout, so that I will get the exact design that is on the CapCut app. So what we are going to do now is remove the auto layout, so it's just going to be a simple frame. Then now we can actually easily align this center, the text center, while this one just remain at the edge here like this. So this looks good, and the button looks amazing. So once we have that now, we want to ensure that this particular one is towards the left hand side. So anytime we like, we can always stretch this, right? The text remain at the middle, while this particular logo just stays by the left here. So once we have that now, we can duplicate this. So I can duplicate this once, duplicate it twice, right? So this is going to be sign in with Facebook. So I'm going to type Facebook here, while this is going to be sign in with TikTok, right? So this is how it is on the CapCut app. Then all we just need to do now is to go on Google and look for the design, right? So let's look for the design. Let's look for the logo, sorry, not the design, the logo. So I'll bring in my Facebook logo there, and I'll just align it towards the left side there. I don't need the Apple logo, so I'll delete that. So this one now, I'll take it like that. So that is 12. That's the spacing here, just 12. Same way with this is also 12 too as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go and look for the TikTok logo too. I'll copy it from my system as usual, bring it here and paste it. Oops. So this stuff has some issues with pasting. Paste it again. Take some time before it appears. Let's paste it again. So we have our TikTok logo here. So this is the logo I downloaded from Google. So I'm just going to bring it inside this particular box. Ensure that it's at the middle. So I'll take it to the edge, bring it 12 times. But the cool thing about this is that this text is going to be white. So our background now, our fill here is going to be this gray here. So just going to make the TikTok logo just falling straight the way we want it to. So once we have it like this, we select everything together, and we could actually rename this, right? So let's just call it Apple BTN. So it's a best practice to actually name stuff. So you just want to discipline yourself to name things. So many people are lazy with that. So select the three of them together, add auto layout here. So once you add auto layout here, right now, you should be able to make sure that the spacings between them is like 12, but it's too close. Let's make it like 20. So that's just it here. So we have our CapCut logo at the middle. We have these particular buttons too, somewhere at the middle here. So the next thing that we want to do right now is to bring in our text and write our text. So we'll come over here, we'll type I have read and accept the CapCut terms of use and CapCut privacy policy. All right, let's see what I've typed. All right, so this should be like 12, right? A very small text, and it should not be bold, of course. It should be regular, centralized, and let's bring it somewhere here. Ensure that terms of use is at the top. All right, something like this works fine. Ensure that the spacing between it is like 24. So this is like 24, and it's also at the middle, right? Then we can now actually give this color, the text itself, some dark cyan. That is CapCut primary color. So I'll just select terms of use. So from CapCut here to terms of use, we'll give you this color 5C958C. So that's CapCut primary color. Give this one also that same color too as well. Alright, so we're done. So if I click on this and I choose to preview it, let me close this kit I opened. I choose to preview it right now. We should be able to see our simple design of the login screen, right? You could see our layout here. Everything is giving us that particular phone vibe. So one of the things I love to do as well is to give my entire frame like a 30 rounded edge like this, so that even on my Figma design, everything is looking all the way fresh, like how an app will actually look like, right? So now that we've done that, the next thing we are going to do is to duplicate this. I'm going to click on this and click Ctrl D on my keyboard. It's going to duplicate that for me. I'm going to rename this and I'll call this home, right? So I'll still leave this here. We no longer need this, no longer need this, no longer need this. So I'll take that one off. So the next thing I actually want to design now is the home screen. So I'll go and look for another type of CapCut logo. So when you search for CapCut logo on the Google, you're going to see several variations. You're going to see this variation, and you're also going to see this one that is like horizontal. So that is what they use on their app. So we're going to drop this particular logo somewhere here. So the next thing now that we actually want to design is we want to take a look at some icon sets, right? That can be useful. So I'll draw a simple frame here. I'll just call this one my icons. Right, so this is where we are going to drop like all of the icons that we'll be using. So let's go and search for icons. So under plugin here, I will search for Iconify, and I will allow that to open up, and I will start to search. So the first icon I'm going to search for settings. and I will see this particular setting here. I'll click on it, and once I click on it, I scroll down, it's going to appear like this, and I will ensure that it is no more than 24 by 24, and I'll also make it a component. Observe that I'm making it a component here. Just drag it somewhere around here. I will look for another icon, let's say user for example, and this particular one here looks good to me. In fact, not like it looks good to me, that's what they use on the CapCut app, right? So I'll bring that icon too as well, and just make it 24 here, and make it a variant too as well, a component. So observe the way I'm making this icon component. You're going to see the use case shortly. So the next icon again that we want bell. So let's not search so much, just pick any one. Click this icon here, import it, and we have that there. Ensure that the constraint is locked, and we have our bell here. So the next icon now that we actually want to look for, we want to look for icons like image icon, right? So let's look for image icon. So these are some of the most common icons that you would see. So I'm just trying to see if we can pick some of the common ones. Let's see if we can see some of the common icons here. Alright, so let's just pick any one. It does not matter. Everything is just test. So let's pick this image icon. I think it's nice. I'll select this. Might not be the exact icon that they use, but still works. So 24 there. Lock that up there like that. So let's also look for a video icon. Alright, so let's search for video icon. So we're going to just pick any nice video icon that we can see. Let me go back to number one. I'm looking for, I don't want it to look like YouTube, but I want it to look more or less like a video, right? Okay, this looks cool. This looks like the one that is on CapCut actually. So let's use that. It might not be exact, but makes sense nonetheless. Make it 24. Oops. Ctrl Z. That's why I'm locking this aspect ratio. Constrain the ratio there. So that's icon. Let's look for AI. So let's just search for AI, right? So we might see an AI image kind of icon. So if we see something like that, that is what we are going to use. Okay, something like this works fine as well. So let's use this one. Right, import it as well. Remember, lock the aspect ratio, make it 24, make it a component. That works too as well. So the next thing again is chevron, right? So let's look for chevron. So I'm looking for all the icon I'm going to use in this particular project. So I'm looking for the one that is facing down. Alright, this looks cool. Let's import it. So let's make it 24. Ensure that it's 24. Yeah, give it a component too as well. Alright, so those are our icons. So let me close this. In fact, I could give this our entire icon panel auto layouts, drop it like this, make it hog so that it's just going to make sense, right? So it's going to be more arranged, and we could also give this 52 as well, 50 as well. So we have basically all the icons that we'll be needing for the project. So the first thing now, we need like 3 sets of icons right now. So we need the user icon. So notice that I duplicated it, right? Copy and paste basically. So this is like the variant. You could see that the shape here, this diamond shape is empty. But if I click here, right now, the diamond shape to the main one is actually filled. That's the difference between a variant, while this one is this is the component, sorry, while this one now is actually the instance of this particular component. So this one now, we could easily duplicate it into 3 or more. Let us hold it together, add auto layout to it as well, ensure that the spacing between it is like no more than 12. Actually, it's fine, right? Select both of them together, let's ensure that it's not more than 20, so it's not be too big over there. Then we need like 3. So this one now, we want like the bell. So because we made all of them a component, so we can easily just switch from here, right? So that is the reason why I made it a component, so I can easily switch from here. So if you didn't make it a component, you can't switch from here. So right now, I can switch from here and call this one bell, and this other one I can switch, and this can be our settings, right? So the good thing is we can put this right here. So that's exactly how it is on the CapCut app, right? So like this set of icon here. So but they have this one design here where they have something like Pro, and let me see, we might not get it exactly how it is, but let us make it like extra bold, that kind of thing, like this. And let's just say Shift A to add auto layout around it. This one now, let's ensure that this is black, full black. Then this other one, let's add a fill, and let the fill be any color. Actually, I think they give it some colors like this. So I might not select the exact color though, but yeah, I'll select something that is very close to what I saw, right? Then this second one right here, let's select something around this green area like this, probably something around here. So it looks like what I saw actually. Then now I can just bring this here and bring this here. So this even look too bright, right? From what I saw actually, this is kind of darker. Aha. Now it looks more or less like it. So the height now, let's ensure that the height of our frame here, in fact, let's ensure that the height of our frame here is like 20, right? So this makes sense. Then the border radius is like 4. So let's just call this one our Pro. So something like this. So CapCut had something like this, and a design like this here. Let's shift it. So something like this actually that they call Pro. So it might not be exact, but something like that anyways. So we select this now and this. We'll add auto layout. Now observe that I always use auto layout, right? If I select this together, I can add auto layout here, and this could be, yes, I didn't think we didn't do it well. Let's try it again. I went to add auto layout to this alone. On group, so this is our logo, this is our icon, so let us call it, see, I've gone to add double auto layout. Alright, cool. So let us call it our icons, right? So this is like our icon. So if we select this and select this, we can add auto layout now. Perfect. So this auto layout should be somewhere at the center. Once you double click it, it will move like this, or what they call you can easily just double click it and it will expand. If you click it once, it goes like this. Double click it and it will become auto here. So this is where you can actually change it to auto. So makes sense. So auto makes it goes by the edge to the edge like this now. So now we'll have it like this. So let's just drag this one to the top. So if we come over here right now, we could actually see our main design. So now we want to design another component. So another component. So our first component that we design is the icon component. So the next component we want to design now is our feature component. So CapCut have this icon called the feature. So and let's quickly design that. So for me to design that, I will quickly create a new grid, and I want a 5-column grid because they divided into 5. So let's give this one 16 and let the gutter be 8. All right, perfect. Right, then later we'll delete it once I just want to use one to get a perfect size, right? So I will draw I'm not using a rectangle, I'm using a frame here, and I will ensure that the width is exactly this particular width. Then the heights don't really matter, so let's give it a fill, and so since we have the width now, we no longer need this particular grid anymore. So let's give it a feel. The feel now should be a grayish feel, something like not so thick. So something like this. Perfect. Let's make it a little bit gray. See, I'm using my eye now, right? I'm not using like the main app itself, the main color on the app. So sometimes you just improvise. So once we have that here, the next now, that if we go to asset now, we can easily see all of our icons. And that is because I made them a component, right? And that is why they appear under icons, because this particular frame here is called icons. So right here now, I will just click on any of this, like the image icon. I'll place it inside it like this and ensure it's at the middle, right? So the height of this should be like 40 or so. So let's select this. Let's make this like 42. All right, 42 or 44. So 44 will be best. All right, so I'll ensure that this one is at the middle and as at the middle like this. So something like this. Then we give it 4 is CapCut usual stuff. So but this one is 8 because from CapCut itself, this is a little bit thicker. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to write a text. So right here now we're going to write a text. So let's call this one editor. Right, so make it full black, but this is going to be regular, of course, and the size should be like 10. Is very small, and this is not full black, something around 5757, something like this actually. Right, so let me give it 5757, 575757, right, something like that. All right, so we'll bring it here now. So this is our feature icon. So let me just name it, right, or I'll just call it icon for short. So our icon, our text plus our icon now, we'll select them together, add auto layer to it, and ensure that it's centralized. The spacing between them should be like 4, like this. Then this frame now, we should just call it feature, right? So this is like one of the features there. So the cool thing now is that we're going to make this a component. So technically speaking, we don't necessarily need it here. So we're going to make it a component. So this is going to be one of the component now. So we'll make it a component so that we can use the same design multiple times. So if we make it a component, we'll click on the text itself here, and under the text here, that is centralized, of course, and something like this, right? So this text now will come over here, and we'll just create a text property, and that is it, create. Then the icon itself, somewhere around here to layer. If you click here, it's going to say show. No, that's not what we want. What we actually want is to make this particular icon. Oops. Okay, so with this now, everything is actually good to go. So all we just need to do now is to bring this one in. So remember we added this text here, right? So if I bring this down here, so I can reuse this a couple of times as much as I want to use it, right? So which is really, really great, right? So let's go ahead and attempt that. So now that we have this here now, we can easily duplicate it like this, select it together again, give it auto layouts, and the spacing should be 8. Then now make this happen like 5 times. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. So by the 5th one should be somewhere around this particular edge here. So which is good, right? So the next thing that I will need to do is to make sure that there are different icons. So if I select this particular icon now, I can easily change the icon, right? So come in, let me select the icon. Oops. Okay, I think I made a mistake here. Actually. So let me correct my mistake. I just deleted that icon there now. Come back here, copy this one, and ensure that this is the right image that is there. Perfect. So now I can centralize this and ensure that that's the right image. Then this one now, right here, as long as it is a component, over here you would see this particular called create instance swap. Click on it. I can name it icon for short. So once you have that there, everything should work perfectly now. So this is editor. Once you select this one now, we can change our icon from here. So this one now, we'll select video, and the text now, we can say let the text be video, right? That is the power of component. This is the component, but here we can just change it like a template. So right here, we can say AI photo. So they can generate AI photo. Let's change it to that one that has the AI kind of thing. This other one now, we can change it to camera. Oops, we did not bring the camera icon. We omitted that one, no problem. We're gonna look for it and add it. This one now is the chevron icon that's facing down, and we'll call this one expand. All right, let's go and look for an icon for this, right? I forgot to add it. So I'll come over here under iconify. I'll search for camera, right? Then any beautiful camera icon will do justice for us. This works. Let's let this icon here so that us when we import it, it will go inside it. Let's close this, constrain it, ensure that it's 24, and make it a component. So as long as a component in there, once we click here now, we should be able to see our camera icon here and select it. All right, so we have that one, which is good. So the next thing in the CapCut app again is one big plus sign here that you have here. So let's create that. So I'm going to use frame, and I'm going to draw this like this here, right? And I'm going to give it a feel. This color is going to look like something like this actually. So, and it should be like 120, right? And the radius should be like 16, right? All right, that's cool. Now the cool thing about this is it's like a gradient fill. So let's give it a gradient. So we'll drag this one somewhere around here and bring this one to somewhere around here. Now this particular first color, let's give it like 5B D E C. All right, so that's the color. So that color makes sense. This other one now, let's give it like 5BB9F7. Something like this is what they used, but I think is actually the opposite direction. Oops. Let me drag it well. This one should be here. Why this one should be here? All right. Okay, it's more like this. Then right here, we could add another one. That is the middle one. And I think the middle one is like, is white, like this, something like this. I could say it's not my design. That's what CapCut designed, right? So if you use the CapCut app, you must have seen that this is where you create a new project, right? So we'll now type a text in it, inside of it, and we'll call this one new project. So it's a new project. So this should give us the regular 16, and we're going to make this semi-bold, right? So that's the new project there. Then I think we still need an icon. The CapCut has an icon, so let's go and iconify. Let's search for plus or add. So let's just use this first one there, something like this that they used, and let's import it. I will close this. So I feel like sometimes you think that we've brought in all the icon that we need, but we just keep needing more icon as we proceed, right? So I think we still need some icon. Let me see if I can just get them now. So we need another icon called, let me see if I can get it, cloud. Oops. Let me add upload. So there's another icon that looks like this. Might not be exact though, but yeah, something similar. As long as it's similar, it works, right? So bring that one there. always ensure that you make it a component whenever you add a new icon. So we need another icon too. This one is like this one is dots, but vertical menu. Yep. So let's select anyone that is a little bit thicker. Something like this works. And let's import it. Take this to the top. Import a particular icon there. Make it a component as well. And yep, just constrain it there. So we'll need another icon again. This one is let's search for edit, I think. So something like this, but with some file. So something like this actually. So let's use this one. Import it so as well. So let's close this. I think this should be all the icon we will need. I just hope I'm correct this time around. So I'll make this a component too as well. All right. So once we have that, let me bring this one here. So next thing that I want to design is the toolbar here, right? So in this toolbar, okay, I forgot that I wanted to design this particular plus. That is why I brought it. So this one here should actually live with this. We'll select it together, make it auto layout, ensure it's at the middle. The spacings between them should not be more than 12 as well. So let's just call this one add. Let's call this one new project, right? So that's a new project there. So this should actually be at the middle of that particular frame, right? So always observe that anytime I'm drawing something where I will need something inside, I always use frame. I don't use rectangle. So let's just put it here. Later we're going to arrange the spacing. Doesn't matter for now. So I will just, I think it's this same size of text that we need here. And we'll call this one projects, right? So this is projects with an S here. All right, so this lives here. Then we need to draw, we need this cloud icon now. So I'm going to bring it in here, and we need a simple text, something like this, right? So this is called space. So you will always see it on the CapCut app. And let's make it regular, and it's quite very small. They used it very small one, so we're going to just imitate them and make it very small too as well. So select this together, add auto layouts, add a stroke, ensure that the spacing between our auto layout is 4. This spacing here too is also 4. This spacing here too is also 4. And the color of this is actually kind of bluish. So let's give this a bluish color. All right, perfect. And let's see, okay, everything looks good. So it's giving fixed. Let's give it hug everything. Then this is 4. All right. So that is this one small space here. So it's somewhere around here. Then we'll have another icon too that will bring this one to this icon. In fact, I can always be selecting this icon for me. I think it's way easier dragging them from this side, right? So it's easier. So put this together, select this together, add auto layouts, ensure it's like this. The spacing between them should not be more than 14 thereabout. Then we'll select this together too as well, add auto layouts, bring it at the middle. Then this one is auto, of course, and we can choose to rename this if we want to name it. So we just could say project heading or something, right? Or project title or section heading. So we can now adjust this to our rule there. All right, cool. So that's that for that. So we need one more component, and then we'll be done with our design. So for this component, I'll click here. I'll bring back the 4 column, remember, and I will use that to get the shape. I'll of my image here. So this is where CapCut show you your previous project, right? So I want it to be a square. So I'm holding my shift and ensure that it's going to end here. So if it ends there, so it's something around 74 by 74, which is not bad. But this is 8 now. The border radius is 8, right? Or the corner radius. So I'll just duplicate this, bring this here, and this is like any random stuff, right? This shows like the number of the project. So let's make this one 14. So I should be smaller than this. I would love to copy one of these texts. I will not stress myself so much. So this is already like 10, so it's quite small. So this is like the dates. So let's assume that any date actually doesn't matter. All right, so put this here. Then this is like the size of the file. Let's say this is 34 megabytes. Then this is like how long is the video that you're trying to edit on CapCut. Let's assume that this one is 00, let's say it's 59 seconds, right? Something like this. So we'll hold this together, add auto layout, ensure that the spacing between them is like 24, right? Something like this. As this one too as well, add auto layout, ensure that the spacing between them is just like 4, not much. Then hold this together too as well, add auto layout, the spacing now can be up to 12. Then now once we have something like this now, we can now actually hold this together now. Then now add auto layout. The spacing between this now is 16. Perfect. So if we come over here now, something like this is what we have, which is good, right? So let's increase the size of this text, this upper one, to like 12, right? And the spacings between them here can also be increased to like 8, so which is not bad. This now can also be brought down, but I think 12, 8 like this just makes more sense. Looks way better. Now the next, we need another icon here, so which is this menu icon, and it should not be like full black. It should be like slightly gray, or not like dead gray. So let's remove this. Let's hide this our column a little bit. So we have this here now. So we can now select this and this together, and we can now actually make it another auto layout again, but this time it's going to be auto at the middle. Then stretch this towards end here, and then ensure that this is also at the end too as well. So we could rename this and call it lists. Oops, I made a capital letter. Call it lists and make it a component. So since it's a component, it cannot live inside our design, so it can live outside here, right? So in this particular component, so there's a lot of things that we could do. I will show us briefly, but before I do that, let's make use of this component. Now the good thing is, anytime you create a component, if you go to assets here, you will always see them somewhere around your asset. You could see that all our icons that we made components are here. This particular one that is called list is here. This one that is called feature is also here. So I can always drag it from here and add it to my design, right? So once I have it here now, and I can just drop it here, right? So this is really, really cool. And I can just adjust it to my tastes, adjust it to my taste as well. All right. So with this now, I can duplicate, right? That is holding alternate and duplicating it. So I'll hold this, select this as well. Both of them have been selected. I'll add another auto layout again. You could see auto layout aids our arrangement, right? So the spacing now, I want the spacing between it should be like 20. Then I'll come over here, Control D, Control D, Control D. So I'm going to duplicate it all the way till we get to the bottom. So now that we have something like this, it's quite easy. So there are two ways to make changes to the text. Let's say this one now, you want this to be 01123, right? You could change it like this, which is easy. Another way you could do that as well is to come to the main component itself, click this and create text and create it like a text property. So if I click this, instead of me to call it text now, so this now could be ID, for example. This could be create a new text property. This could be dates. Then this could be create a new text property. This could be size. Then this now, create a new text property for this. This is what's duration, right? So if you name it like this, so any one of these things now that you want to change, if you just click it, you will see all what. So you don't click inside here, so you can just come over here now. Instead of 34 MB, I could say this one is 312 megabytes, while the size now is around 0 to 23, right? So and so I can just keep on just naming it from here like this. This one now is let's say this is 132, stuff like this, and that's how you name it, right? Now the next thing I want to do now is to get an image that I'm going to add in all of these gray boxes because they represent an image. So we'll need another plugin called, go to plugin, we search for user profile. You're going to see this particular plugin. Just click on it. It's going to come up now. So once it comes up, you just select the rectangle here and you click on insert random image. It's going to look for random image. I think I have some images I've inserted before, so I'm just going to go on history and just select them, right? So that's going to be easier and faster. So I'll just select random image actually. Select any random image of my choice from my history. All right, this looks cool. All right, cool. So these are several videos that we could add. Now, one last thing I want to do is to ensure that these things are not just like congested, just the way you're seeing it right here now on our design. So you could see our design was taking like good shape. So if I click this, I click this, I click this, I click this, I click this. In fact, the entire thing can also have auto layout, but let me just add auto layout to the entire thing. So I can select everything here, add auto layout to it, and say the spacing between each section is what 24. And this particular thing now, I'm just going to call it what my content, right? So this is going to be our content. So right here, we just have our status bar, and I want a space of 24 between my status bar like this, and I have this particular design like this. And right here, we have this particular design. So this is the login page, this is the home page, and that is it for this particular design, right? So the next thing now that I might want to design in subsequent videos is design where this stuff will expand, we come down and prototype it, or design where we'll click here, we'll go to the editing section where you edit video. In fact, let me show you some screenshot, because before I design, one of the things I did was to go on on Google and search for like CapCut's UI, so that I'll be designing alongside the UI. So let me show you something I found on Google. So in our next design now, we can choose to design this particular screen where the main editing takes place, where you edit the video on your app. So if you want us to continue with this particular design, right, just drop a comment about that, and we'll definitely continue. And don't forget to subscribe too as well. And in the next video, I will be showing us how we can actually like mock this thing up and present it on social media. So in our next video, we'll be creating a mock-up of this exact design, and before we go ahead and decide if we are going to have like subsequent video designing other screens in the CapCut app. So see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Peace out.